We're back again, week 5. It's upon us. Coming to you live from a swampy hole in Oldsmar. We're dry for now. Big storm coming. Everybody's clenching their teeth and puckering their butts. So hopefully our friends on the east coast of Florida manage to get out of here okay. You're listening to the Line Sports Talk podcast. Ready to recap week 4. Talk a little bit about some fantasy moves in week 5, some injuries. The bug seems to have caught up with a handful of teams out there, and it's time for you to make adjustments. It's not too late to save your season if you're 1-3 or 3-1, 2-2, 0-4. You're screwed. But not too late. We got some special guests tonight. In the office as usual is my boy Joey Peeps. Joe, say hi.
How's it going, guys? I might ask you. I might say, guys, really, I want to take Odell Beckham out somewhere. Just help him out. Take him out to McDonald's. Get him a Wham burger and some French fries. He seems like he could really use some. And furthermore, just want to say, shut up, you fucking crybaby bitch, and play football. The Canton Crackers need you.
Yeah, it's a tough play. It's a tough play for our first-round pick. We're also finally graced by the presence of somebody we've been trying to get on board for a while. His tutelage has brought the Line Sports Talk podcast to where it is over the years. We are joined by greatness. It is the guru himself, Pepper Jack, the Big Cheese. Welcome aboard.
Glad to be with you guys tonight. The Big Cheese is in the house.
The Big Cheese
Extra
is ready
hot
to
and spicy.
That's right. And I like Bloody Marys.
Joey like cheese, and I like Bloody Marys. What's going on, man? Around the league, it's the injury bug's biting everybody, and it's affecting fantasy football teams. It's affecting NFL teams even more. Up to speed. I saw, you know what else I saw today is that Johnny Manziel's suspension actually ended, but he is still unemployed. But he is officially unsuspended. Without a job, I thought I'd add that.
We probably knew that, and he didn't.
Yeah,
you know what? Do you
him.
think if they did a remake of Cocktail 2 that he may be the new Tom Cruise?
That's a possibility. I never thought of
it. No, I question his ability to make a cocktail. I don't question his ability to drink one. So
yeah, the world's a better place without him in the NFL.
Right.
I saw Jason Verrett blew out a knee. Sadly, he's out for the rest of the season, which is okay for Raider fans. But I don't ever like to see anybody go down like that. That's never good. Couple other injuries. Carson Palmer out Thursday night. He took a
I don't think anybody in Arizona will notice the way he's played.
Yeah, you're right. He hasn't been great. He took a hell of a shot Sunday, though. Did you see that, either of you?
I
stayed. For my viewing pleasure, I completely stayed away from the Cardinals and Rams. It was one of those what's the point games.
It was one of those what's the point games, and both you and I took the Arizona Cardinals minus the 8 points, which embarrassing. Bringing it
time for me to start facing reality that my Super Bowl pick, the Arizona Cardinals, might just not be very good, and I might be a total idiot, and it sucks.
You know what I find interesting is that all these prognosticators in the early preseason that are making predictions regarding fantasy football. And I got to give a lot of those guys out there credit because about 90% of them saw the decline of Carson Palmer coming.
Yeah, you're not wrong. He was on the warning list, the no-fly list for a lot of the Matthew Berrys of the world and the Jamie Eisenbergs. I think a lot of those guys had you steering clear of him. Which, I get it, but that offensive line's a very good offensive line. Larry Fitzgerald is maybe lost a step, but he's still the smartest receiver on the field. He's always great. Maybe it is Palmer. I can't say I've watched them enough. I think if they start the season 1-0 and beat New England on an opening night, they might be in a different place right now. Momentum's real. We talked.
It's tough to say. I just everything I see when I watch this team, it's in disarray right now. And unless they come together and have one of those big midseason moments where some of your leaders on the team, like your Patrick Petersons and Calais Campbells and guys like that, are like really get these guys together and said, look, guys, these were our expectations coming into the season. This is what we are now. We need to wake the fuck up.
They just
this
might.
Is real now.
They just might. But, I mean, let's take a quick look around the NFL. I don't want to really recap all our picks because nobody gives a shit. Who's the team to beat?
The team to beat?
Yeah, anybody?
But,
Pepper Jack?
Go ahead, Jackie.
There's a few surprises out there so far after 4 weeks, and I always like to think that, you cannot judge a season after 4 weeks. A lot of teams have a cheat schedule early on, but I got to say that everything I've seen so far out of those Minnesota Vikings
they're
is
real.
looking pretty good. I mean, that defense is just pounding people. Sam Bradford has played smart, and they remind me a lot of what we saw last year in Denver because we had a quarterback that managed the football team, didn't make any mistakes, and that defense just shut everybody down. So 4 weeks into it, they look good. It's a marathon, so right now they're looking really, really good, though.
They are, and this is actually the one time in any of our lives that we'll ever be able to compare Sam Bradford and Peyton Manning. But
that was one maybe a quarter, if generous quarter of Peyton Manning last year.
And that's all in my eyes. That's all Sam Bradford is compared to Peyton. But yeah, I think Minnesota is the team to beat. They keep proving it week in and week out, and they beat good teams.
Sam Bradford remind you guys a little bit of Bobby Boucher? I mean, he has a little Adam Sandler look to him. So sometimes when he's on TV, I just get this whole Bobby Boucher thing going.
Bobby Boucher was a lot more fierce, though. I mean, Sam Bradford seems pretty docile half the time.
Yeah, but playing smooth, I watched him Monday night, and I thought, if nothing else, Bradford just has a very good handle on what's going on, not trying to do too much, unlike a lot of quarterbacks. I mean, it's starting to become very, very obvious that my level of optimism with quarterbacks in the NFL is stupid.
It means for something when you're a quarterback and you realize that, hey, look, I got a great defense. I don't have to. It's a good feeling, I bet, to know that you don't have to go out there like poor Drew Brees is with the Saints this year. He's got the whole mentality. No matter how great he is, he's got to recognize that I probably have to score 50 points to win because my defense is so bad. I mean, that means a lot.
No, it does, and I think Bradford's got the ability there. Look, you already beat Green Bay early on in the season. They may split with them depending on who Green Bay turns out to be because, like Pepper Jack said, it's early, man. You're 4 weeks in. I don't like the buys this early in the season.
Yeah.
I don't understand why. If you're the Green Bay Packers, this early bye doesn't help you at all. If you're the Philadelphia Eagles and you're 3-0, this early bye, you don't need to get healthy. You don't need to get rested. You're hot. And now they're going to tell you take a week off?
Do you think that's going to mess up the momentum that Philadelphia had
I do.
Over the first three?
I do. I think with a rookie head coach, whether Peterson's been around this game for 25 years or not at this level, I don't know. I think that experience from the head coaching position matters so much. It's so
I'm not gonna buy into it this week, though. Might I add, though, I'm not going to buy into it this week against a very, very bad Detroit Lions team that they're playing this week.
And you're right, and I was getting to that they, fortunately, it's not like they're walking into Denver on Sunday at 4 o'clock. This Lions team is actually bad, if not top 3 draft picks next year. I don't see Detroit winning a whole lot of games. Last year, for whatever reason, again, the optimist in me thought I saw them playing well for Jim Caldwell, and they did. But that you can I get tired of hearing the pundits say like they want it more because that doesn't mean shit. Wanting it more and being more talented or having a better game plan, it just you can't say that. I keep hearing they wanted it more, they had to. That's not a reason why teams win games. Watch good game plans week in and week out. Who did we witness over the weekend show up with a good game plan and win a game? It was Buffalo.
Rex Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
They did.
Yeah, but I think New England just finally showed, okay, you're not. They kind of got brought down to reality where you're just. I know it all seemed good for the first couple of weeks, but they're going to benefit from Brady back now. You're just not going to win games if you're not able to throw the ball and be effective.
Can I tell you what happened to New England's offense in that game? It's pretty simple. Rex Ryan had one game tape, whereas Houston the week before had no idea what they were going to do with Jacoby Brissett. No idea. It looked like Houston game planned for a pocket passer, and it was foolish, but that's what they did. But then you watch Jacoby Brissett go out the second week and try the option and the wishbone and all these Rex Ryan was ready for it. They saw all that they were comfortable asking Brissett to do.
Houston was fooled by Bill Belichick's trickery in one of those, I won't reveal how healthy Jimmy Garoppolo is. I'll make you prepare for both guys and just kind of fake you out and just prepare for his trickery.
There's something to it.
Let me just add, though, back to what we were talking about with the Vikings being 4-0
Sure.
and looking very good. There's that guy that we just spoke about, Mr. Belichick in New England, Bill Belichick. I mean, they're 3-1 with Jacoby Brissett and Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah,
And by the way, I believe they're coming to Cleveland this weekend, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
What do you got, Mr. Optimism? The Browns gonna win?
Yeah, Browns are going to cover.
I'll be honest with you, though, being from northeastern Ohio, they have 17 rookies playing on the field. They're in games. They cannot close anyone out. They're in games through the first three quarters. They remind me a lot of our Oakland Raiders from the past
2 years ago.
Seasons. Yes, when they've played very, very strong, and then all of a sudden the fourth quarter arises and they fall flat. And that's
I don't.
Similar.
I don't disagree. I think, and I think I mentioned it, that the Browns are going to play competitive. These guys aren't giving up. They're not going to give up on Hugh Jackson. He's not that coach. He's the guy that these guys will run through a wall for. You saw it in Oakland. His job was cut short there because of some, I guess, a difference in philosophies going forward with Reggie McKenzie and Mark Davis.
They want to just cut all ties with anything Al Davis, I think.
That had a lot to do with it from what I was made to understand. But he's going to turn this team around in Cleveland. They need to give him 4 full seasons. And if after 4 years this team's 2-14 and not injured or not without reason beyond his control, then give this guy time. He's got some very average football players playing pretty well.
And I think what the Raiders, their philosophy used to be was to continuously reload with free agents that were
Doesn't work anymore.
7, 8, 9 years into the league, the long tooth and the gray beard. And I think they finally figured it out that that's not how to build a team anymore. What McKenzie has done with the Raiders through the drafts the last handful of years has just been amazing.
It's impressive. And look at, and this is actually a nice segue into what I wanted to talk a little bit about tonight, is about just quarterbacks, but players that are impressive and players that aren't impressive. Some guys you can panic over, especially with a fantasy spin. You've got a guy like a Derek Carr, who, by all accounts, right now could be in a discussion for your league MVP. I know we're 4 weeks into the season, and I'm a Raider honk, and I'm going to say that, but it's in the discussion for guys like that who are just on the precipice of blowing up and having a great season. And then there's other guys that you probably took in the first round at some point and you're scared to death. Like, for example, how do you feel about Adrian Peterson right now?
Well,
I didn't draft him. I don't feel
I
bad at
didn't
all
either.
because
there's
really enough to steal.
Even if he comes back, he's just not a. It's not you really can't expect too much of him. Especially, I know he's Adrian Peterson and it's the closest thing the NFL has ever had to a superhuman. But it's just sometimes. I mean, you're still you're not coming back from this season. I mean, I'm gonna hold out and see what he can do next year. But I don't see him, even if he does come back like he says. I don't see the terms of his effectiveness other than the fact that he just makes the defense stink because Adrian Peterson's out there.
Well, let me ask you this one, Pepper Jack. You'll remember this. Remember when Jerry Rice came back and played one season with the Seattle Seahawks?
I do remember that.
You remember that? You remember watching him? He scored a touchdown on a fade route in the corner of the end zone. I don't remember who threw it to him. Might have been Mitch Cumstein. It was that long ago. He just looked so feeble. And this was the greatest receiver to ever step on the field. Father Time is a savage, and he's going to beat you every single time. And I don't know that we got to see the actual rapid decline of Adrian Peterson.